Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Naimia. I want to share with you today what I did to start my YouTube channel in 2025 as a millennial woman and mother who works a full-time job. The first thing that I did was take some time to really plan out the message that I wanted to push with my channel. I had a very clear understanding of the audience that I wanted to reach, of the lifestyle that I was going to be recording, of the type of content that I wanted to create. So I created a Word document where I typed up a description, and I used ChatGPT to the fullest for this, right? I would type into ChatGPT, create a YouTube description for a millennial woman who's trying to execute XYZ, and then you can fill that in based on the type of content that you're creating. I knew that I was going to be showcasing waking up early. I knew I was going to be showcasing being with my daughter in the morning, getting her ready for the day, prepping my healthy meals, doing workouts, studying. All of these things I knew for certain were going to be showcased in my content. So those are the things that I included in my ChatGPT prompt, and I was able to pull from whatever ChatGPT generated. The next thing that I started to do was I got nervous because I'm like, well, what I'm gonna need to record different things. What are my video titles gonna look like? What are different ideas for different types of videos that I can create? Also use ChatGPT for that. I wanted to know ahead of time and be mentally prepared ahead of time for having different video ideas. The next thing I started to do was I started to research and look up different content on what to do when you're starting a channel, different tips and tricks for your YouTube page. There's so many different little tips that you're gonna learn about YouTube. Like when you're uploading a video, the file name in your computer needs to be what your video title is. Like for me, for example, I need to save my videos once I've downloaded them from CapCut. I need to save it as Millennial Mom Waking Up Early before I upload it into YouTube. That is important. When you're on your YouTube page, there's a section where you put in search words that when people look them up, your content is going to pop up. Because I don't know what the term is, you guys. I'm still very new to this, but you need to have certain search words. So there's a section in your YouTube studio that you're going to type in all those words. These are all tips and tricks that I've learned from researching YouTube. Other things that I learned were thumbnails and the importance of thumbnails, and how right now they're pushing for your thumbnails to be clean and plain and not full of a bunch of text and just a lot, like a very busy thumbnail. You don't want a busy thumbnail. So third thing I did again was start to research YouTube and what the expectation is for content creation these days and the different little things that you need to know. And people are putting this information out there. None of this is being gatekept. So just Google it, start doing research about these little small details that you're not thinking about when you're starting a YouTube channel. All you're thinking is, I'm gonna record content, I'm gonna upload it, that's it. But it doesn't work like that when you're pushing your information into a system and algorithm and all that stuff. So if you're not very social media and present day savvy like myself, definitely do your research before jumping into this. I started to use Canva to create my banner. So you want your YouTube page to look professional, right? You're gonna learn how to make your YouTube banner, and you're also gonna create that little video clip that's like your intro to every video. Now, I am gonna change and improve as time goes on, but these are the things that I went ahead and set in place before I started creating content. So I started learning how to create thumbnails on Canva. I started learning how to create an intro and things like that. You want to have these things done so that when you're putting your videos together, when you're editing your videos, you're not wasting time trying to learn and stressing yourself out about how am I going to create a thumbnail for this. You'll already have that skill developed. All of this took me weeks. I think it took me maybe 3 or 4 weeks before I actually started working on my first video, because I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to rush into this. I've rushed into things in the past. And when you do that, you're not prepared for the long term. You're not preparing yourself for a long, drawn out process. It's like you're firing off really, really quickly, but you're not setting yourself up in a way that's going to allow you to do this for the long term. The next thing that I started to think about was boundaries. Something you don't hear a lot of people talk about are boundaries within content creation. you're sharing your life. You're either sharing when you're doing your errands, you're sharing your home, you're sharing your children, you're sharing things that are very personal to you. So you have to have very clear boundaries. One of my boundaries is that I don't go into my bathroom with my camera and show myself getting ready. Will that change in the future when I'm more developed in this content creation thing? Maybe, but as of right now, I know that that's not something that I want to do. Having that understanding of this is something that I don't want to do is going to eliminate a waste of time and energy when you're like, okay, what should I do? What should I record? It's like, I know I'm not going to record that, so I know not even to waste my time recording anything in that area, because that's going to be content that I'm not going to be able to use. Aside from having clear boundaries, I also found it useful to create a schedule for my recording. So content creation can be very time consuming, energy consuming. You're always thinking about it. Ideas are always firing. And so this is happening to you throughout the day when you're at your regular job and stuff like that. So I knew going into it that I would have to have a very defined window for when I would record. And that's from when I wake up until I go to work. Like, that's my window. I don't want to spend my day recording every single moment of my day, because I knew that would overwhelm me. Every person is going to operate differently, but I knew that that would not work for me. So have a very clear understanding of what you're going to record, when you're going to record it. Next, the mindset. Content creation for beginners, especially, you want to capture everything. You want to make sure people are feeling your vibe. You want to make sure that you're sharing enough. And trying to do that, carrying a camera from room to room, from store to store, from errand to errand, and engaging with that camera, and remembering to turn this setting on, remembering to lock the screen, and do all kinds of stuff like that is very overwhelming. So the next thing is to go into it with a calm mindset and try to be as organized as you can up here, so that you can handle the pressure of recording all the time, because it can be overwhelming if you're not giving yourself the time that you're going to need to put a tripod, to set up your phone, to whatever it is. The next thing that I would say about content creation is to be realistic. I started my channel, and this was not even a month ago, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be pumping out videos every day. I want to pump out 6 videos a week. I'm only going to give myself one day to not post a video, but I'm going to be pumping out videos every day. My first 2 videos, it took me 20 hours to edit my first 2 videos. Have a very realistic expectation if you're someone who is a parent and if you're someone who works full time, okay? Unfortunately, if you're someone who's able to pump out that kind of content, if you're someone who does your content when you're on the road and you're talking to the camera and you can just record as you drive, that's very different. But if you're doing lifestyle content, those things, and you're wanting to edit your videos, because nowadays there's a certain level of editing that you have to do. You can't just throw your stuff up just how it is. Like, people will lose interest very, very quickly. So have a very realistic expectation about your ability to pump out content, like, and to post and to schedule posts and so on and so forth. So aside from that, I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, but I think those are the biggest things. So I hope that wasn't super, super boring. I just hit a dead wall. So just stay tuned for more videos, and thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.